Welcome back. When we started out this morning, our conversation, we talked a bit about leadership. We mentioned the essence of leadership and setting good examples and creating structures so that those coming behind can find a base on which they can run. Right now, we'll be talking about the Lagos Leadership Conference. It's the 4th edition, and this time the purpose of the conference is to inspire, motivate, and empower young Nigerians who are or who wish to be in positions of leadership. You want to lead, or you are in leadership, and you want to get better. Well, I guess you need to listen to the conversation here. So to help us understand what the Lagos Leadership Conference is about, Pastor Charles Kpande is a convener. He's here in the studio. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you very much.
And Seun Seyi Olojede. Thank you for joining us. You're a part of the Lagos Leadership Conference.
Yes,
thank you for joining us. Pastor Kpande.
Yes, sir.
We hear the leadership conversation everywhere.
Yes.
On the road, at work, in the religious centers and all. But what does this conference have to offer?
Yes, basically the background of all this had been that everywhere you see, everybody you meet, they're talking about leadership failure, leadership deficit and all that. And most people just talk about it. At some point, a few years ago, we decided to do something about it, no matter how small it is, to be able to be part of bridging that leadership deficit gap. And that's how we formed what is known as the Bonmene Bari Leadership Foundation, which is like the group that's powering the Lagos Leadership Conference. Basically, you did say it's about 4. Actually, this is our 11th edition. 11th, yeah. We're on the 11th edition of the Lagos Leadership Conference now, this year. And basically, our take is really that we see leadership from the very basic John Maxwell kind of definition of leadership is influence. So we believe that leadership is not just positional, it's not titular. We believe that leaders are at all levels. So we deal with those who are occupying positions of leadership. We deal with young people. We deal with even family people who don't even think they are leaders. And sometime in the last 2 years, we try to do something a bit novel, which is to try to go down to begin to deal with the very young people in the schools. So we had to gather a number of school children. I think a number of the schools sent in 10 people to our 10 young people to our conference, and we try to build them up. So basically, it's an all-round attempt to really get people to think about influence, positive influence. Because why we are so keen on this, and some of the other things we do is that I think Dr. Sam Adeyemi did say that one of the big problems is that in Nigeria and most part of the world, leaders are like putting a man to go and pilot a big aircraft, and he never went to any school. He didn't study. He didn't go to the aviation school. Of course, he's going to just try to do the best he can, but ultimately,
he will crash.
It will crash. Yeah. So.
Okay. Now, staying with you before we come to you, you said this is the 11th edition.
Yes.
Can you just tell us what exactly the first 10 achieved?
Yeah. I can start with the very first because that was very significant. How it really started. I call it a bit of accidental. I call it whatever. I was sitting home and some guy from the States who had gone to Singapore called me. They had some things to do with some organization in Singapore, and the people were all over Africa, but wouldn't agree to come into Nigeria. And the only problem was this issue of distrust. And he said he wanted to showcase, as he put it then, a good Nigerian, that can I fly into Singapore? I said, sorry, I hadn't been to Singapore. I said, sorry, I don't even have a visa. He said, no, you didn't need a visa. So I said, okay, fine, I'll get in. So I got my funding and I went for about 1 week just being with them and all that. So doing nothing than just to make them see that we are not all those kind of. So one thing I did, I now invited the gentleman to come to Nigeria. And having been with me for about a week, decided to come. We really had to do a lot of work right from the airport to this to that. And we had the very first conference. I had to build a conference around him as a speaker. The good thing was that on the Saturday we had, usually we had a breakfast meeting. And this guy now came out to really speak that he had been in Nigeria for 3-4 days. They had told him that if you stepped out of the door in Nigeria, they'll mug you. Okay, and now he has seen a difference. So really it was like a laundering attempt and that. So the other years now we've had all manners of, there's hardly some of the at least key names in Nigeria, they come. It's always taking dimensions of, we have the normal sessions, but something peculiar is usually a roundtable, or what we call the corporate roundtable, which seeks to put together those from the public sector, those from the private sector, and then those from the religious, and then the media all together for a discourse. So we've had all manners. We've had past Utomi. We've had literally most of the people. The vice president those days, he had been part of it. So
have there been any outstanding young people whom you can pinpoint and say, yes, this guy is going to make a great leader one day?
Well, there are, except that our take has been to see this as a continuous impact. And usually beyond this thing, we do other things. We try to get them into some mentorship, as it were. So some of the people who go out, because we think that leadership is not one-off. So we just start, if it's the young people, we keep on them. Some those who are in positions of authority already, it looks like they are hard, but we also work with them. Like some of the things we are doing this year is this attempt to really deal with the issues of the today, which is integrity, as it were.
What's the theme for this year's conference?
The theme for this year's conference is leading with integrity. And I think it's a very important thing for Nigeria at this moment, because integrity is really walking your talk, doing what it is that you said you will do. Too often we hear leaders say one thing and then down the line it doesn't happen. This conference will focus on generating capacity to work in leadership with integrity. So I think it's a very timely topic and theme for Nigeria.
Okay, there's this other thing about legendary leadership. Is that also part of this theme?
Well, this is focused, transformational leadership, legendary leadership. Those are things that occur over time, that by the time you've left a position of leadership, you've made permanent transformations to the systems and to the people. This, like he said, like the convener said, focuses on, the now, impacting, there's change going on. And it needs to cut across various spheres of leadership in the country. Too often people think those in positions are the ones who are leaders, but we lead everywhere. If leadership is influence, then in our very little spheres of influence, we're leaders. And so if you do that with integrity, we will move faster to where Nigeria should be.
Okay. Professor Mane, who are the speakers that are coming for this?
Well, they start on Thursday this week, which is the 7th. We're going to be able to have a speaker from Ghana, that's Steve Mensah, speaking along with myself. I'll be speaking. Indeed, I'm starting the conference with prayer for leaders. I want to have a 3-hour prayer for leaders first. Okay. We start with the spiritual. But then we then have a session in the evening of Thursday. Both of us will be speaking. I will speak on redefining values. And then Steve Mensah will be speaking on the key core topic, leading with integrity. Friday morning is a big one because it's the round table. The round table this time is the Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, will be the one to lead that round table. We are hoping to have about 250 key leaders from all the sectors sitting down together at table from about 9 a.m. to 12:01 to interact on this subject. In the evening of that day, we'll be having Iliomade, who is a lawyer and then a pastor of the City of David. He's going to be speaking on personal integrity. Steve Mensah will also speak on the main topic. Then Saturday is a big day from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We're going to have about 5 speakers that day. I'll be kicking off the day talking about the general topic, leading with integrity. Then we'll have Itwai Godalo. He's going to be handling integrity with money. And then we have Jumoke Adenowo, one of the people who are the youngest architect at least Nigeria ever produced. She's also the founder of Awesome Treasures. She's going to be there to talk about creating standards and setting boundaries. Of course, we're going to have a young man from the UK, Yemi Adedeji, who is going to come to be talking to us about how loyalty without compromise. You can be loyal.
Okay. Those are. Shayi, when and where is this taking place?
The venue is Peace Hall, 19 Water Corporation Road. Is off legally
Oniru.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, around Oniru.
Okay, that's we have a slide on that's the address to.
The details are on your screen.
Yeah. Okay, so registration process is the website, and then the phone numbers.
The phone numbers as well as the venue. You can come in anytime and have your registration done.
Is there a need for pre-registration?
Oh yes, you can pre-register on the website. And if you have any issues, you can call the numbers on the screen. The issues will be resolved.
Okay, so who are invited for this conference?
Well, those coming, yeah, all sorts. Yeah, we are expecting young people. A lot of young people are coming. All segments. People from banking, from all the sectors of the private sector. Yeah. We are having a lot of people from government, Lagos State government, and all the agencies of government, the media people. Mm-hmm. Really, it's usually those 3-4 days is usually a time of really people just from everywhere interacting. Even very young people, we bring them. Some of them just to have a feel. Of what it means to be around there.
Anyone in leadership and anyone aspiring to be in leadership shouldn't miss this program.
Okay, so we've been talking about the 2016 Lagos Leadership Conference, and it's happening on Thursday 7th to Saturday 9th of July 2016 at the Peace Hall, Plot 19, Water Corporation Road off Ligali Ayarinde. It was showing on your screen. It should pop up now. You can register ahead of time or go to the Peace Hall, go to the venue and register or call any of the numbers showing on your screen. As they say, everyone is invited, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much. We've been speaking with Pastor Charles Pandey, who's the convener of the Lagos Leadership Conference, and Shayi Olojede, who's a member of the team. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, and we wish you well in your conference.
We expect to see you.
We will try.
Thank you for having us.
God bless you too. Thank you very much. Sunrise will be back in a moment. Don't go away.